Mountain, I am a tall tree. Oh, I am a swift wind sweeping the country. I am a river down in the valley.
Yeah.
Oh, I am a vision. I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I'm the world's greatest. Welcome everyone to the World Greatest Show. This is the African Portal Radio TV International. No matter where you are in the world, this is one of the great time ever. We've been looking forward to it, and we thank God that we have opportunity to have this conversation with one of the great global, and we have opportunity to be in the show with him. It's going to be a lot. Connecting with us, please share, like, comment, let it go viral. It's a lovely, beautiful time here in Pretoria, South Africa, and it's a lovely time in Kuwait, where you are as well. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be on the African Portal Radio TV International. Everyone joining us, please kindly watch, share, like, comment. Your comment means a lot to us on this program. We cannot do it alone. Let me tell you, your comment is a petrol, the gas this show is using. So please keep commenting, keep sending it out, keep sharing it, keep talking about it. It's a lovely, beautiful time here in Pretoria, South Africa. Like I said earlier on, for those of you coming in, please, I would like you to kindly share this program, let it go viral. Let me take time to greet everyone all over the world, to everyone in Africa and the rest part of the world. We say hello to everyone in South Africa, where I am right now. To everyone there, Ashe, Moloi, to everyone in South Africa, in northern part of Africa, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi babarakatuh, to everyone all over the world in French-speaking country. Bonjour. We welcome everyone to this beautiful, lovely time on the African Portal Radio TV International with one of the greats, well, the studio with us that will be having the conversation. I really want to appreciate those of you that you are coming in. But before I continue with the program, let me take time to actually appreciate this great African icon for this great citizen of global citizen. Let me appreciate all the Africans, all the Americans, all the people all over the world, all the people around the African continent, around the Australia, around Middle East. No matter where you are, it's one blood, it's one soul, it's one nation, it's one global village. Welcome to the African Portal Radio TV International. It's going to be another exciting time in the studio. Let me take time to welcome my guest into the studio for him to introduce himself, tell you some of the things that you want to know about him before I give you few information about him. But let me welcome him to the podium. Let's have this show. Let's get started. Welcome to the African. Let me give you opportunity to introduce yourself to my listeners, who you are, where you are, and the position you hold in the society.
All right. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show, my brother Joshua. This was a great opportunity to talk to the world through your radio. I cannot express my feelings. I always love the spirit that we send out to the world. My name is Houssam Makki. I am Lebanese. I live in Kuwait. We are located in the Middle East. I am the Middle East #1 leadership, true leadership catalyst and coach. I talk leadership. I breathe leadership. I eat leadership. I live leadership. So that's much who I am. I'm also known as a, this is my message, and my story is different. I am known as the reborn. And my story led me to my message. There's a lot in this story, and I'm not talking about it because it's mine. I'm not trying to talk about myself, but we people believe that our stories are given to us to share it with the world. And so I'm a person who came back to life after an accident. I was reborn again, wholly reborn by the grace of God. And this story of mine taught me a lot. Although I share it with the world, but me myself, I learned a lot from it. So, and one of the things that I have learned is the importance of leadership. I didn't learn leadership just for the sake of learning it. I lived it. And I know how important it is for our world to live the meaning of leadership, not just taking it as a trend, working with it as a trend, speaking some sort of terms of leadership just to look good in front of others. Leadership matters, whatever you are, whoever you are, whatever you are doing, it matters. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and this is a part of my introduction.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm so excited. I'm so excited by that because, when we have people that focus on the important things that is happening in the world, most of the time I used to tell people that one of the important thing about life is for us to focus on things actually matter, and the things that matter is things that will bring the progress to the world, the thing that will bring solution to the problem that the world is facing. So those are the things that I think we need to talk about, and that we think we need to always dish out to people around the world, and especially to people that really understand what is going on in our time, and the people that really believe in one love, and the people that believe in others. We live in a environment whereby people don't believe in other people. People don't want to invest on other people. People take advantage of other people. People don't want to do things the way it's supposed to be. Some people they know your worth. They know what you worth, but they will not give you. It's like working for a company. Know what you worth, but they will pay because they want you to be always coming back to work every day. Imagine if you are worth $20, they will be paying you $10 because they want you to be coming back every day. So I like where you come in. I like the introduction that you put in. But I want to talk a bit about Reborn. Reborn. When I saw that, I was like, wow, Reborn, this is very, very significant. Can they take us to kind of the journey, just a brief history? Why Reborn? What actually happened to you? Why do you call yourself Reborn?
Thank you so much again. I don't call myself a reborn. When I came back to life, I knew that I was a reborn. I had an accident. You see, at the age of 1, I fell from a 3-story building. I reached the floor with a split head. And luckily, I was taken immediately to the hospital by a neighbor who was passing by when my head hits the ground. And he took me immediately to the hospital, and I was considered dead. And I was labeled as a piece of wood kid. I was deaf, blind, and couldn't speak. Now, they called my parents to come and check me at the hospital, and they knew that I was already considered dead. But my mother refused to believe this reality, and she told the management of the hospital that she will take me back home and she will take care of me. And then they told her, there's no problem with that, but you have to sign a paper that we have nothing to do with this kid if he passed away the moment he goes out from the hospital. Now, they took me back home. My mother didn't know what she was going to do. She only had faith that I'm coming back to life. today when I share the story, I tell them that the faith that my mother had, she had it from my grandmother. She derived her faith from my grandmother, whom I call today the solid anchor of faith. You know, she had faith that I'm going to have life again. She had faith that I'm going to have my sensory back because, as I said, like I had no senses. I couldn't speak. I was blind. You know, so God was generous, and He gave me my sensory back in few months after they've been taking care of me. You know, they were feeding me through a stroke. You know, they used to put it in my mouth and then slip the food inside so I can get the food in my stomach. And as I told you, miracles happen, you know, and God was generous to give me back my sensories, and He gave me back another chance of living. I came to know about this when I grew up, and you know, my mom, my grandmother, you know, told me what happened with me, what was the story, and the term reborn came from there. So that's why I tell people that I'm known as the reborn. Now, the idea of sharing this story and sharing this message evolved in my mind in 2014 when I met my very first mentor, who told me that you have a story to tell. And I was convinced, like so many people today, that I don't have a story. I don't know how to go in public. What should I say? What should I talk? But then when he started mentoring me through and made me dive inside of me, I came to know that I was reborn for a reason. And this is the message that I need to take out to the world. I need to tell people why you exist and why some people face accidents, challenges, obstacles, whatever they face, they come back stronger. Now, if we talk about those who face a tragedy or an accident and then they die, that's another story, which I can talk into it also, because during my quest to find why I was reborn, I got connected strongly with our source of existence. Now, so many people might call it the power of universe or whatever, but I call it God. You know, grand overall designer, the grand overall designer. My story got me connected with Him. That's why I talk about my story a lot. I am, like others, inspired by my own story, and I am inspired by other people's stories. Because remember when I said our stories are given to us to be passed on to people, to inspire others with it. We would be selfish if we have a story and we kept it to ourselves. If we have a story and decided to live a victim of this story, we're going to be selfish. And God is going to ask us about this. I gave you something between your hand. What have you done with it? So this is much the message of the reborn.
Wow, wow. Thank you very much for that. Thanks so much. I really, really appreciate that. It's a beautiful story. It's a very beautiful story. But now I understand where you're coming from. As a matter of fact, this is a kind of story that I think we needs to be putting in the spotlight every now and then. Because whatever you are going through in life, some people believe that not even experience what you experience. Imagine you fall from a stories building, land on the ground, you should have died immediately. Something bad should have happened, but you didn't die immediately. God preserved your life. I have the same story just like you, but time will not permit me to share that. I have the same story just like you. But I'm so glad I have a opportunity to have a conversation with you. And I'm so glad that this is going to help somebody out there. For everyone joining us, let me just quickly give you a kind of background or the information of the person that I'm having in the studio with me. For those of you that you are joining us that you don't know him, I will just give a kind of brief of information that you need to know about him. Then we go into the conversation. If you see me bending down my head, please permit me. I'm just responding to some of the messages coming in from the other side broadcast. So a lot of people are sending message through, so I have to like multitask. The guys are doing it as well, but we try to make sure that we get as many people as possible into this broadcast. So please permit me if you see me bending down my head. So let's quickly look at the person that we are actually putting in the spotlight. Let's look at his achievement and let's look at things that he's done for himself. Let's just give you a brief, just a brief for you to have an idea of what is coming in this program. If you are coming to this program, please share, like, comment, let it go viral. This is very important and it's going to help you, and his journey as well is going to gladden your heart. So please watch, share, like, comment. Let's do it together. Let me quickly tell you a bit about him. This great man in the studio with me is a reborn miracle. Is a Middle East, a number one true leadership catalyst and coach, like he said earlier on. He's passionate speaker, feature in Speaks magazine, and inspirational author of several books. That is another aspect we are going to look into. It's also author. So we have great man in the studio that we're going to explore and we are going to get a lot out of you today. See, his vision is to bring true leadership back to the surface by helping to transform leaders into true leader. His leadership principle and other related method is a world civility ambassador, and as a thought leader, he was recognized by I Change Nation, ICN, with the endorsement of the Golden Rule Standard and the productive business community Game Changer Award. Wow, he's also award winner. So we have this great man in the studio with me this evening here in Victoria. I know it's evening time in your side as well. What?
Yes.
Join me to welcome one of the great legend, one of the global citizen, one of the people that God together for times such as this, one of the people that God have prepared for times such as this, one of the people that God have arranged for times such as this, one of the people that God have put a lot in them for time such as this. Let me welcome Mr. Makki onto Portal Radio TV International. Once again, welcome. All you've been saying since morning is just an introduction. Let's go to the business of the day. Let's quickly have a kind of conversation. I like what you say at your introduction. You are from Lebanon, but reside in Kuwait. Let me quickly take you back to your educational background. What does your educational look like? You have accident when you are when you're a child. You have a very fatal accident that's supposed to take your life, but you're still alive. But how is educational background? Education. What can you tell us about it? And what can you tell us about your childhood as well? What do you see? What can you tell us about that?
Okay, this is a great question, actually. I always tell people that I am a non-traditional person. Just like I've been a reborn, just like I faced an accident where, as you said, I was supposed to be considered dead. I'm hitting the ground. I mean, when you tell somebody that you have fallen from a 3-story building and you hit the ground and you got your head split, you are considered dead, right? This is like an equation. One plus one equal 2. 1 plus 1 equal 2.
Exactly.
So this is how the common sense goes. Just like this accident, I'm living my life as a person who don't believe in traditional. I'm not a traditional business. I don't, or I'm not in the, traditional life. I always love to think outside the box. I was a rebellion since day one I was born. I'm a rebellion person. I don't accept what's going on. I need to understand why I'm doing this, where I'm doing this, and where I am going with this.
Wow.
So I had to obey the school system. I went to the school. Although I was bullied a lot in school, and this type of bullying made me refuse the school system. I was bullied by students. I was bullied by teachers. I was bullied by the principals of the school, the people who were supposed to be the example of education. I was bullied by them. And so these type of things made me think, like, if the people who are responsible to take the school ship, from A to Z, to take care of the students, are making fun of some students, they should not be in the leadership position, right? So this helped me to be more rebellion about this stuff. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that there is another part of life. Education starts when you go out of school. Education is not in school. Education starts when you go out of school. I realized that when I reached the high school level, and my family was going through financial problems, and I was in a position that I must start making money for my own, and I have to start helping my family with the finances. So I was passionate, and I'm still passionate about music. So I used to go back home, make up, mixtapes, mix CDs, and take them to the school and sell them in the school. I used to have a high season in Valentine's, because I used to make CDs like R&B and all these kind of stuff, the love songs and everything. I used to have a high season over there. I used to sell a lot of CDs in the school, and make my pocket money, and make the money where I can help my parents. And then when I went out of school, because of the finances, I couldn't continue to apply for a university, so I stayed at home. But I did not stop there. I thought to myself, I have to keep on going. I started doing parties, making money on my own. At a young age, I experienced a lot of things. So I started making my own money, and this made me stretch my mind more about the business side, how to be more creative in making money, how to start business, how to do this, how to do that. And I started digging into things at a young age. And this made me realize throughout the journey that I have to add value to myself so I can become valuable for others. So, and this journey also made me understand that being responsible doesn't mean that you have to burn yourself for others. Being responsible means that you have to build up yourself for others, which means that you have to add value to yourself. You have to become a valuable person. You have to become somebody so you can help others. And this is one of the things that my grandmother used to repeat in my ear when I was young, after being recovered, after being reborn. She used to tell me, and she's an illiterate woman, which she did not go to school. She know nothing. She don't know how to read and write, right? So here is an old lady. She had a lot of wisdom, and she told me a statement after I was reborn again, which I hold in my heart until today. She told me that you are a great somebody, and your job or your work in life is to become that somebody. Now, this lady, this old lady, she passed away in 1996. Today we are in 2021, and I'm still talking about her. Don't you think that this is legacy? Don't you think that the few words that she knows and the wisdom that she had and she poured in me, and I'm repeating it today, don't you think that this is legacy? This is how we should deal in life. This is how we should live life. We have to pour our wisdom in life. We have to share the good things. We have to live life simply, because this is going to build our legacy. And this is what made me live my life this way. You know, the example, my grandmother, the example of my grandmother, she made me the person who I am today. And throughout the journey of trying things and experimenting things and doing things led me to where I am today. I didn't live my life casual. You know, I was intentional about becoming that somebody, even though I didn't know who is that somebody. Who am I going to be? I kept knocking doors and taking opportunities, seeking change, because I know that the human being system is not the real system. The system that we seek in life is God's system. And God's system is to bring us here and make us use our minds, the center of connection between us and Him, so we can discover who we are and climb the stairs of awareness, so we can become the worthy human being that God expects us to be. So that's much the whole story, my friend.
Wow, wow, wow. I know. I actually intentionally take you through that journey because you didn't tell me this before, but I just know that there are some certain things that we need to take out of you, and we need to also learn from your experience as well. That have shown that I like what you say about the school, that the education at the start, the day we leave the school. So the school is not actually where we get the education. The education starts when we actually leave the school. I keep that there. We're still going back to it. Let's talk about the leadership. What leadership skill do you possess and you know it, and how do you distribute it?
All right, very good question. Thank you so much for that. My friend, leadership, I was introduced to that term in 2009, 2010, probably within 10 or 11 years ago. And since I discovered the term leadership and I discovered the importance of leadership, I started studying it until I reached to the day where I am today, sharing my philosophy about it. So many people will tell you that leadership is influence. Well, to some point, yes, but it's not necessary that leadership is influence, because I can influence you even if I am a hypocrite, right? So this is my philosophy in leadership. Leadership is inspiration. Because you see, the number one objective of leadership is to create more leaders. And in order for you to create more leaders, you have to inspire them to discover themselves. So the number one skill for leadership is connecting your soul or your spirit to yourself. know how to lead yourself. Because when you connect with yourself, it means that you know the self. You know how yourself behaves. You know the attitude. You know everything that are within yourself. And you start working on them. How you do that is by discipline, by making yourself disciplined enough to obey you, to obey your spirit. So you can do the things that you have to do in order to become a true leader. Because this is another thing that I talk about, becoming a true leader. When you become a true leader, you start thinking, that's letter T. You start knowing how to reflect, that's letter R. And you have the U, which is you start understanding what you've been reflecting on before you execute. So there you are. T, think. R, reflect. U, understand. E, execute. So you have to lead yourself. You have to know the self and what is coming within yourself, your attitude, your behaviors, the way you think. Get rid of the bad habits within the self. Cleaning the self. When you lead the self and you become in control, you will be able to become valuable for others. And then you will be eligible to lead others. Then you can call yourself as a true leader. Because you see, everyone in the world is leading somebody. What's the difference? The difference is there are those who are intentional about leading, and there are those who don't know that they are being observed or watched. Like, for example, if parents, they are leaders, but if they don't know that their children are watching them, it's a disaster. We know they are leading their children somewhere by their actions, but by becoming intentional and changing their habits and changing the way they behave in front of their children, they become true leaders because they are leading intentionally. They're not being hypocrites in front of their children. They tell their children, they go and tell their children, you do what I say. Where children doesn't do what parents say. They do what their parents do. So you have to be intentional about leading. And to be intentional about leading, you have to apply the 4 laws of true leaders, which is the book that I released last year. The 4 laws of true leaders: think, reflect, understand, then execute.
Wow. That is lovely. That is lovely. Okay, let me quickly take you through that book. I've not had opportunity to read your book, but let's quickly talk a bit about that book. The chapter 1 of that book would be a very interesting one that our first day needs to look at. What inspired you to book, and what are you trying to gain from putting that book together and publish it out?
Okay. As I told you, I was introduced to the term leadership 10 or 11 years ago, and I was introduced to it by accident. I was involved in an organization, a network marketing organization, and it was something new to me. All right. This organization used to host events from now and then, training events and all this kind of stuff. And one day we went into a training room, and then we sat there, and then the presenter started talking, and they started mentioning something about teamwork and then leadership and how leading should be done. And once the training was over and we went out of the room, I saw the opposite of what was shared in the room. And it rang in my mind the term leadership. the term leadership rang in my mind. And then I said to myself, what is leadership? And from then, I started reading about the book. It was the first time that I start, buying books and reading about leadership to discover that there are a lot of things that I used to hear my grandmother talk about, which is honesty, loyalty, values, integrity, and so on. And I stopped for a second. I told myself, we've been taught that leadership is not for us. Yet now I'm reading, and I found that what I'm reading, I used to hear it when I was a young boy. So why we were told that leadership is not for us? Since then, I started working and studying leadership, trying to tell people that you are a leader. All you have to do is to become intentional about it. And that's when this message evolved in my mind. I wrote it last year, because throughout the years you will be collecting experiences, you will be collecting information, you will be collecting so many things. I gathered what I had collected, and I put this book together to tell people that leadership is inspiration. And every one of you, by their action, they can inspire somebody else. Now, for you to become a true leader, you have to be intentional about it. All right? And we are talking about 4 simple steps. That these steps, for the fact that these steps are mentioned in all religious books. God asks us to think. He asks us to reflect. He asks us to understand. And he asks us to, take action or execute. But your execution, to execute something, it will not be effective if you did not put more thought, more reflection, and you did not understand or evaluate what you're trying to communicate with people. So the first chapter of the book was telling people that leadership is inspiration. And then I have spoken about the law of thinking, and then the law of reflecting, and then the law of understanding, and finally the law of execution. They all go together.
Wow. Wow, I like that. I like that. And that will actually take me to a lot of people are watching you. There is a lady watching you from Jamaica, Mary woman, say, wow, this is great. It's a true word, true word. She's been sending a lot of comments. She's talking to me here as well. Very encouraging. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Keep sharing it. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's quickly have conversation. How many books in total have you published? And which one is the first one? And what actually motivates you to that first one?
You see, your question came right in time. Today I've decided to republish the first one. The first one was published in 2015, and it's called The Reborn. I'm sharing my story. I shared my story in 2015, and as I mentioned earlier, that all the years that you go by, like, it took me 9 years to collect my information about leadership for me to publish the True Leadership book last year. And so when I shared The Reborn in 2015, I shared it based on the level of awareness that I have reached when I discovered that I had the story. Like I told you, I discovered my story through my mentor when he told me and guided me through how to find my story in 2014. After that, in 1 year, I started writing my book. I said, like, I want to reach the maximum number of people to tell them that reborn is a principle of life. We can be reborn from an accident. We can be reborn also from our challenges, from our adversities, from our situations and hardships. Today, we are in 2021. I decided to rewrite the book, and very soon I'm going to publish it. That's gonna be a sneak peek through your show. I'm gonna mention this for the first time. I'm planning to publish the second edition of the Reborn in March 2022. And there is a big reason for
Wow.
that. There is a big reason for this plan. I'm making this plan go viral, as you're saying, that this episode is going to be going viral. I'm mentioning this as a sneak peek. It's going to be published in March 2022. And the reason for that is because March is the month of Eve. All right? And next year is going to be the heavenly 100th anniversary, or let's say the 100th birthday of my grandmother, the first mentor that I had.
Wow.
So after her 100th birthday, I'm going to publish the book in March 2022. Although I'm almost done with it, but I'm planning to publish it hopefully by next year, March 2022. And whoever will be connected to me on the social media, I'm going to bid the exact date very soon.
Wow, wow. I like that. I like that. You know, one thing about this conversation is not just conversation that we are just saying. We receive, and whatever we receive is what we pass to you. We are not just sitting down here creating our story. We receive, and whatever that we receive is what we actually throw to you. Let me quickly take you through this. I like what you say about mentor, your mentor. Mentor play a very big role in the life of every man. But you have opportunity to have a great grandmother to be your mentor, which who mentored you well and give you the information that you need in life. And that is what make you who you are now. Let's talk a bit about your mentor and your great mentor that is 100 in the next coming year. What exactly is it that you can tell the world about her that is so unique that you have never found in any other woman being on earth, or that is so unique that to get it is very rare? What are the things? What are the characteristics that you actually attribute from her? And apart of what she told you, you know, I like what you when you say the children and the parents. The children is watching the parent, but they are actually learning or behaving the way the parent is, not what the parent is saying, but the way the parent is behaving in the public, which is very key, is very key. But what are the characteristics that you actually personally derive or attribute from your first mentor?
Faith. I
Faith.
mentioned that, yeah, and I always tell people when I talk about my grandmother, she is the solid anchor of faith. She is the solid anchor of faith. And the reason why I'm saying this is because she is the one behind my mom's decision when she took me back home. My mother didn't know what she wanted to do. You know, when you talk about a child who's facing a hard time, who's on an appointment with death. You know, he's about to meet his fate, or he's going to die, or the mother will not have time to think what she's gonna do next. She is gonna be driven by her instinct, right? She is gonna be driven by something else rather than thinking logically what to do. And most probably, it's rarely to find somebody who is equipped with faith. Faith is hard. So my grandmother had faith that I'm going to live. She had faith that I'm going to get my sensory back. She had faith that I'm going to go to school. She had faith that I'm going to be somebody. And as I told you before, she said, you are a great somebody, and your work is to find or to become that somebody. And she told me this because of a reason. I used to come back home crying because of being bullied, you know? So she used to take me between her arms, and she used to tell me stories about people who used to be bullied and then they become great. She used to tell me stories about almost every situation I faced. She used to come up with stories to build me stronger. She is behind where I am today. She even, when she was on her deathbed in 1996, and I mean, this lady did not go to the hospital not once in her life. In 1996 was the first time, she was 74 years old. It was the first time for her to enter a hospital, and she knew she's gonna leave because she never went to the hospital in her life. She knew that her time came up. She knew that she was leaving. And so she told my mother that day that watch out this kid and take care of him, take care of his education. What she meant is after school. And then she told her that this kid is going to be married to a wonderful woman who will understand his way of thinking, and she is going to support him. Well, guess what? I've been married for 14 years to a wonderful woman who stood beside me and supported me all the way to become who I am today.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And she
What,
is,
what a
and
great
she,
lesson there. Faith.
yes, yes, my friend. Yes,
You
my
can
friend.
continue.
If I
Yeah, you
want
can.
to talk about my grandmother, I say that she is the solid anchor of faith. Now, another thing about the month of Eve. I love the month of Eve because I respect every woman in the world. The woman is the greater
Wow.
incubator in the world. Without women, we are nobody. I am here because of Eve. I am here because of my grandmother. I am here because of my mother. I am here because of my wife.
Of your wife. Hmm. Hmm. Wow, wow, wow. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. I like that. How do you rate success? What do you call success? If you want to give a definition, what is success means to you?
Success to me is being able to bring out your true self. This is success. I don't care about any materialistic thing. I don't care about, you know, I'm not talking theories. I'm not talking words. I'm saying the truth. Money, houses, cars, all these things are accessories of success. The real success is becoming the true you. Because when you become the true you, you will become a person of value. You will become the person that nobody knows about but yourself. I have a statement that says, your dreams are reality that no one can see but you until you make it happen.
Indeed,
So
indeed, I
you have
completely
to
agree.
become, yes, you have to become you have to reveal the true self of you, so you can become the person of value, so you can release, get to know your dreams, release them to the world because they don't know that they exist. And they will never know that they exist until you know that they exist in you and you release it. So to me, this is success.
Wow, 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 wow. So you mean discovering yourself, who you are, doing what exactly that you are here for is the greatest success that anyone can think of.
Yes. There are two things that
Wow,
we need to
wow,
focus on,
wow.
my friend. There are two things we need to focus on.
Mm,
You need to focus on your
mm,
story and you need to focus on your message. Focus on your story and focus on your message. This is what
hmm.
I teach people about when
On
we
your
talk about
message.
uniqueness.
Hmm,
So many people ask me
hmm,
like,
hmm,
how do I know that I am unique? You want to know that you are unique? Pay attention. What is your story? Know what message you share.
hmm,
Work on them and release them. That's how you know that you are unique.
hmm, 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 hmm. Wow, 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 wow. That's another beautiful one there. That's another beautiful one. How do you handle disappointment?
That's a great question, my friend. All right. Um, I told you that I describe my grandmother with the word of faith. How do you know that whoever talks about faith is saying the truth? If you live faith,
Hmm,
if faith is your lifestyle, there will be no room for fear. There will be no room for doubt. There will be no room for disappointment. There will be no room for uh, uh, um, distractions in life. You will be walking by faith, you know, and faith means full assurance in the heart. Full assurance in
hmm,
the heart. When you have full assurance in the heart and you walk by the light of God, nothing in the world can stand in front of you. So when I go through any type of distraction or depression or these things that comes to us because they exist. I'm not telling you that I am a superhero human being. I'm a normal
hmm,
human being
hmm,
who
hmm,
gets these things because they
hmm,
exist. But how we deal with them?
hmm,
All you have to do is take a paper and a pen and then write down the conversation that goes within you, like the inner voice that will come to you. Let's say that the inner voice came to you regardless of the situation, whether you are depressed, whether you are discouraged, no matter what the situation is, you are going to have an inner conversation from the voice. you know there will be a voice
hmm,
that will try to pull you back. So what you're going to do is you have to bring a paper and a pen and start writing down the dialogue, start writing down the conversation that is going on. For example, the voice will tell you that you are not worthy. All right. So you write down, the voice is telling me that I am not worthy. And then you start listing below this statement all the things that make you a worthy human being. And then, bam,
hmm,
you killed the voice and you told them, I am worthy because of one, two, three, four.
hmm,
The voice will come
hmm,
to you and tell
hmm,
you, you are not successful. You will write down all the things that you succeeded at, and then you tell them, bam, I am successful because of one, two, three, four.
hmm,
Who do you think you are?
hmm,
You start listing down who do you think you are from your point of view, or what people used to say about you, and then you answer the voice back. And in this way, you will you will conquer the voice, and you will, get back on your feet as normal as you are and keep on going. But the most important thing is that never ever, uh, you know, try to resist something. You see, being depressed, being discouraged, all these type of feelings have to come to you. Never resist. Don't block. Let it come in, see what does it have, deal with it, and go. Be like water. Be like the river. The river keeps on going. No matter if there is a rock in front of it, it's gonna hit it, and then it's gonna keep on going. Because you are born, my friend, to move forward. So these kind of feelings are like the rocks that you will hit and move forward. You are not meant to stop where the rock is stopping you. You are not meant to stop there. You need to hit it and keep on going. What you need to do is figure out the way how you can move. My way was a paper and a pen and start answering the questions or dealing with the inner conversation so I can shut the mouth of the voice and keep on going forward.
Wow, wow. I like that. You are such a person that have experienced, you've been bullied, you've seen a lot in your childhood, you've involved a very fatal accident. You've seen a lot, and you even say something that I love about. You say you are a rebel, like like a kind of rebel, and I like that. But let me quickly on this as a motivational speaker, a professional motivational speaker, and a catalyst. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you find out you are the only woman on earth, what will you do?
I didn't get the question.
Okay, the question is this. The question is this. If you wake up tomorrow morning, and you find out that you are the only woman being on the surface of earth, every other person gone, disappear. You only one remaining on earth. What will you do?
Oh, that's a great question. I will pray. I will have a long conversation with God. I will be lucky by then,
How are you going to do that? How are you going to, because remember you wake up, nobody's there, it's only you. How are you going to do that, to have that conversation?
I'm going to pray. I'm just, I love silence because I believe that God exists in silence. If I want to meet God, I meet him in silence. And I have this moment of silence. So I will connect with him, I will pray, I will talk to him, and I will come to know, why am I the only one? Is there anything that I need to do? Is there anything left that I need to finish on this planet? Because, I can never imagine the world without people. And this goes back to a special philosophy that I have in my mind. I can never imagine the world without people.
Indeed.
So what I'm telling you,
Indeed.
is that I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask him, if I am the only person on planet, it means that there is something that I need to be doing. Because if I wake up and see that there are no human beings on this planet, it means that everyone has finished and he's done with his work on this planet. If I stay there, it means that there is something that I did not finish.
Wow.
Let me stick to this answer.
Do you want me to connect that? Because I actually am testing, because one of the things that we do on the African Portal is get out of you. Do you know that there's a billions of people today living on the surface of earth and they are feeling in their head that they are only human being? Why me? Why me? Why me? They always feel that what they are going through, they are the only person going through it. So they see what like they are the only person. That is the what the topic. I mean, the question is all about. So now let me give you opportunity to address someone as a motivational speaker, as a professional, as a catalyst, as somebody that's seen it all. If somebody involved in a car accident, a wife, children, husband, they are in the car and they're involved in a car accident. The wife died, the husband died, and the man is alive, but he lost his leg. And you're a motivational speaker, you need to motivate and speak and advise the person. What are you going to tell such man? What is your message, Willie?
You are seriously, you are digging deep, my friend. You are digging deep. I'm going to tell this person that, and this is something, by the way, that I have written in my first book, The Reborn. I said that there might be people saying that maybe an accident will happen to somebody and a member of a family will die. Where is the message in that? What God is trying to tell us? Since you've been a reborn, I'm talking about myself, since I've been a reborn, the message was you still have something to do in life. That's why you have a second chance to live. What about the people who face an accident and die? What is the message in that? I'm going to tell you the message for the example that you have said right now. The message of the wife and the kids dying is for the guy, for the husband. There's a message for the husband. And the message is they died for a reason. And you lost your leg for a reason. All right? There is no message for the mother. There is no message for the children, except that they being called. And that's it. Their time is up. When time is up, no one can do anything about it. When the time comes, nobody can do anything about it. But those who live, they need to understand that whatever happens around them is a message for them. I don't know if I have to mention this, but any type of challenge, any type of obstacle or hardships that we face it covered, which means it's coming to us as a challenge. But what is inside this challenge is something that we fear. And this is how God tests our spirit. If you fear of losing somebody, there will be time that will come, you will lose that somebody, and this is going to be a very huge challenge for you. Why? Because you fear to lose that somebody. Therefore, you will feel it as a challenge when you lose them. Like when you really lose them, you will feel that you are challenged. And so many people, yes, so many people are going to go into a depression. So many people will feel and think that they are victims of life. So many people, it's not about you. It's not that this challenge came to you. It came to strengthen you. It came to build your character. God knows that you fear certain thing, so it will come to you in a form of a challenge. It will come to you in a form of a struggle. It will come to you in a form of hardship to build you up as a person, to build your character. And here I'm talking about leadership. When something like that comes and builds your character is the true you. I hope that the idea is clear, right?
Very, 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 very clear. Very, very clear. Very, very clear. Very, very clear. I like the way you actually I like the way you actually communicate. You are getting to the message that I'm trying to brought up, and I can guarantee you this. All the question coming to you is written anywhere. I'm receiving it and I'm giving it to you, like I said earlier on. And by the grace of God, this is not what we just do for we just want to do for fun. This is a divine arrangement. This is a divine program. This is what God wants us to do. This is a destiny. This is what God have ordained us to do. And I'm so glad that we are getting something out of you and we are helping somebody out there to also discover themselves, because a lot of people are going through many things in life and they keep on asking a kind of question for themselves: why this is happening to me? Why me? Why am I the only person experiencing this? Why am I the only person seeing this? Why am I the only person failing? Why am I the only person that my marriage is not working? Why am I the only person that didn't have the children? Why am I the only person that didn't have a job? Why am I the only person I'm losing my job? They keep on asking those questions, but they forgot that there are billions of people facing the similar things in life, but they are still standing. They are not killing themselves to the extent that some people commit suicide because of the challenges they are facing. And the message like this is a message to encourage someone that no matter what you are going through in life, you are not alone. You are not alone, and you are not going through it alone. Let me quickly take you to this, because as we are rounding up, we already spent 1 hour 6 minutes on this show. Let me quickly get you in this, and this is very, very, very important to me. You've said some certain things about leadership. One of the greatest problems we are facing in this generation is the leadership. What are you
Mhm.
doing for you to impact, or for you to make sure that you pass a correct message to the correct leaders for them to do well in the position they hold?
Now, what I'm doing is I'm working with individuals. I don't work with groups. I'm trying to establish a new way of training, or a new way of education, if I may say, which is avoiding to work with group. I work with individuals, because when I work with an individual, I'll have the ability to work on their potential, to work on their uniqueness, to work on their riches, and to work on the way that they can execute what they have. Because the most important thing is an individual to discover his potential. Everything else is important. Working as a team is important. To talk to people as team is important, but I prefer working with people one-on-one, whether it is coaching, whether it is mentoring, whatever the case may be. One-on-one is my favorite way of dealing with people and building them, especially those who are handling leadership positions. And what I'm doing also is I'm doing my best to record videos and go in public, talking about the importance of values and importance of integrity and loyalty and honesty and all these type of stuff, to tell people that you should take care, or you should focus on these things. And funny that you asked this question now, because I'm starting to promote mastermind groups around the values of leadership. It's going to be for group of people, but after talking to this group, I will be able to spot the serious people who want to discover the leader in them, and I will be able to work with them one-on-one. So this is what I'm doing at the moment, to solve this, or to contribute my knowledge on leadership. And that's much the whole thing that I'm doing. I'm
Wow,
reaching,
I like
I'm
that.
reaching out.
I like
I'm
that.
reaching out to people. I'm reaching out to people. I'm connecting with
Hmm.
people. I'm joining other groups who are willing to, achieve goals, And I focus on the importance of leadership to make them discover what they can do, and then I can take it with them to the next level.
Wow, 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 wow. In this that you've been doing on all you've been laying your hands on, where do you see yourself in the next coming 10 years?
Wow, this is a great question, and these questions are coming on time, my friend. I'm working with one of my mentors who taught me the importance of planning for the next decade. You see, when I started studying leadership and I came to with the philosophy of true leadership, that was 10 years ago. And I can say that I have passed a long run. 10 years ago, it's a whole decade. I consider myself planting. I was planting something under the ground, and now I'm planning for the next 10 years. I know many things would happen. We didn't know that the coronavirus is coming, the pandemic is coming, the curfew is coming, but this did not stop us from executing our plan. So I tell people to have the plan solid and you be resilient with it, which means that you have a plan. Things are going to happen. We don't predict the future, but we have a vision. So make the vision solid, make the plan solid, and you be resilient because something is going to happen in the middle of the whole thing. What I see myself doing in the 10 years, I'm going to be traveling, talking to leaders, no matter what they are leading, but I see myself guiding these leaders, planting in them the real value of leadership, and making whatever they are working on, whether an organization or a country, to become a better place. This is my dream. This is my dream. This is my vision. Actually, I want to reach to a level where I can collaborate with leaders, world leaders, and share with them the philosophy of true leadership and how to lead with intentionality.
Hmm, and that will be a very great one, because the problem we are facing today is the problem of the leading. The leaders today, most of the leaders today, they don't know what it takes to be a leader. Have you been in a position whereby you are the leader, a guy, I mean, of a certain organization or a group, but people seems not to believe in your leadership? Have you been in that shoe before?
Um, no, to be honest,
No.
I told you from the beginning of the call that I'm not a traditional person, which means I was working in my last organization that I was working for. I was an employee. I was not in a leadership position. I was not leading. I was a normal employee in that organization. Yet I was able to spot the things that are wrong with this organization leadership, and because I believe in being a
Hmm.
person of a character, I refused so many things, and that led to me leaving this organization to pursue my dream. And my dream was to become a catalyst in this area of leadership. And I started studying since then. I mentioned that my wife stood and supported me all the way. When I decided to leave the corporate world because of this issue and because of pursuing my dream, she was there for me. She supported me in that, and she was a great and still a great partner for life. She is behind all the things that I have produced from that date until today. And I can tell you today that I have friends who work in companies who call me to get an advice how they can lead their teams. And the people whom I was working for years ago in an organization never believed that I was an employee and today I'm giving advice. I'm giving consultations. So I can never imagine leading people, and these people will not believe in my leadership, because what I do is I work with whoever I connect with. I work with them first from the base, which means I talk to them indirectly about the importance of leadership and show them without telling them, and then we establish a relationship where I can where the trust will take place. You see, there's a story about a kid who was sitting in a plane. They were in the sky, like the plane was flying high in the sky, and then they faced turbulence. All the passengers got scared, and they started, putting the belt and getting ready for any kind of emergency. Only that kid was playing with his toy, and sitting there playing with his toy, and never getting terrified. When they passed from the turbulence, the guy sitting beside the kid, he asked him, strange. We were going through a turbulence and we were getting ready for any kind of emergency, but you stood still. You kept on playing with your toy. Why? What made you think that we are safe? This kid was around 6 years old, and he told him that I knew that nothing is going to happen because my father is the pilot. So the kid had a blind trust in his dad that he's going to pass the turbulence. So this is what I do when I connect with people. I work with them from the base, making them understand the importance of leadership and the importance of the pillars of leadership, which is honesty, trust, integrity. And then we start going from there.
Wow, I like that, and thank you for that story that you just shared now, because that story actually it means a lot to me. Let me just add something to that story as well. It's like a story of a boy. They used to tell him that no, before you do anything, always pray before you do anything. And there's one day they were traveling and they want to get in the car. They said, let us pray. He said, no, there's no need of praying. Why are you praying? Because praying is not gonna do anything for us. And they get inside the car and they are driving. And somebody now asks him that, do you believe that God is with us in this car? He said, no, there's no space for God to sit down in the car. So there's no way God can be. The car is full already. So there's no way God can be inside the car with us. So as they are going, they're involved in the accident. And guess what? The boy that doesn't believe that God is in the car, being the only person to die in that accident. Why? Because his faith is not in the power that is actually washing over them. Every other person survived the accident. Only the boy that say God is not in the car died. Why am I saying that? It's just to add to what you say. The boy that say, I know that there is not, everything is going to be fine because my father is the pilot. The guy have faith in his father. The faith that he had in his father that give him assurance that no, nothing is going to happen to us. We're going to face this problem and we're going to come out of it because we have faith in his father. If you're listening today and you are listening to me all over the world, you don't have faith in God or you don't have faith in His power, you are nobody. You are nobody because you cannot go to the journey of life with your own strength, with your own knowledge, no matter how many books, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how big you are, no matter how rich you are. You need God in every stage of your life. And to lead, to be a good leader, you need God. You need God. It takes God to lead you for you to lead well. You cannot lead with your own mentality. You're going to lead people very well. Sir, what is your golden advice to the leaders listening to us, the failing leaders and the good leaders?
Well, again, this is on time. My friend, I'm going to tell you a statement that I have written months ago. I'm going to leave you with one meaning for the term blind. Blindness is not the loss of sight. Blindness
Indeed.
is the inability to see God in every single detail in your life. If you don't see God in every detail in your life, you are blind. This is the meaning of being blind. Blind is not losing sight. Because you see, I told you at the beginning of my story that I was a blind and deaf and couldn't speak. But because of the faith of my solid anchor of faith grandmother, God was generous to give me back my sensories. Is because she planted in me the words of faith. She had her hands on me and she prayed to God. And because of her faith, I got my sensories back. And today I'm holding this faith in my heart. Holding the faith in your heart will fortify you from fear, will fortify you from doubt, will fortify you from anything that comes from the outer world. And my advice is going to be strive to become a true leader. Use your mind, think, reflect, and understand your message. Then execute. Strive to become a true leader. That's the only advice I can tell the audience to do. Whether they are aspiring leaders or leaders with credentials, if you want to, especially though the leaders with credentials, the leaders who are already in a leadership position, think, reflect, and understand before you execute. Because you see, the coronavirus, the pandemic, and all these things, now they showed us hypocrites from true leaders. Things gonna happen in life that will show who you are truly. Are you a hypocrite? Are you a person who just repeat the word leadership, or you are a true leader? Things are going to happen in life that will show where you belong. In fact, I mentioned it also in my book. There are two types of people, or two types of leaders. There are the parrots and there are the eagles. We know that the parrots, they just stand on the trees and repeat things, and they stay down. While eagles, they go above the clouds and they fly alone. Everyone dominates his area. These are the true leaders. So don't be a parrot repeating whatever you hear without understanding. That's why I'm telling you, think, reflect, and understand your message. Think, reflect, and understand whatever you are planning to do so you can execute in excellence. This is the advice.
Wow. Wow, great advice to every leader, to everyone aspiring to be a leader, for everyone that is listening to this broadcast. I hope you had it yourself. This is a great conversation. I'm so excited to have this great, knowledgeable, this full of wisdom man with me in the studio. And I'm so glad that God arranges for us to have this conversation. And thanks to Aliu that put this together for us to have you on board and to have this conversation with you. Before I let you go, what is the greatest lesson that you learned from COVID-19?
The greater lesson that I have learned from, actually, I did not learn it, but I gained it throughout the years, and I experienced it in COVID-19. The lesson is take care of your inner world. The more you take care of your inner world, the more stable you will be, no matter what is going to happen. See, you are a spirit living in a body as a house. You are a spirit living in a body as a house. The outer things that are the chaos that is going on out is trying to make your house fall apart. It's trying to make your house fall apart, which is your body. If your spirit is not strong enough, your house is going to fall. And when I say your spirit is not strong enough, I'm going back to being fortified by faith, because you see a higher percentage of the dead people, the higher percentage of those who are dying is caused by fear. That's the number one cause. It's not the coronavirus. Coronavirus is just a reason, for them to die. It's just a reason for this chaos to happen. The number one cause of death is fear. So you have to be fortified with faith, and you have to take care of the house of your body that you are living in by using the center of connection with the Lord. You see how things are falling now. One more thing I want to add to you. Let me clarify what I have just said. Let me clarify what I have just said. Taking care of your inner world, or taking care of your spirit, means disconnect from the media, disconnect from whatever the people are talking about, disconnect from the newspapers, disconnect from the social media that are talking about the COVID-19, and focus on your spirit. How can you build your spirit? By praying, by having faith, by reading, by listening. There are so many things that we are overlooking, that we are blessed with. You have ears, you have eyes, you have mouth. You can listen to positive messages. You can read positive reads or positive books or self-help books, whatever. You can do all the reading with your eyes, reading positive things, and you can speak positively with people. These are the three things that can feed your faith, and these are the three things that can feed your fear. If you listen to negative people, you are going to feed your fear. If you read whatever is there on the social media or newspapers or whatever is there on the news line that comes within the TV, you are taking something negative, you're feeding your fear. If you start repeating what people are saying without thinking about it, you're feeding your fear. So be careful. You have three sources of feeding either your fear or your faith.
Wow, wow, wow. I really, really want to appreciate you for time spending with you. It's been well spending. I actually
Same here.
budget this program 1 hour, but I'm already 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm feeling like I feel so relaxed because the spirit that is working on this program is a kind of calm spirit that make things go easy and make things so very interesting. Let's quickly call it a day here as we are stepping out of this program and say that we believe that we're going to have a conversation with you again. Thank you very much for the time and thank you very much for coming out. But before I let you go, I have a lot of comments coming in. I'm going to say that now. But let me just quickly quote you on this. What it is that is happening in the world that you want it to stop now, and what it is that is happening in the world that you want it to continue. That is one. Two is what it is that is what is more important to you in life. Let me put it that way. What is more important to you in life?
Humanity.
Humanity. And what is it that is happening in the world that you stop now? What is it that is happening in the world that you want it to stop?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. And what is it that is happening that you want it to continue?
The ambitious or the ambitious spirits. There are so many spirits who are ambition and who have aspirations to make the world better. I want these people to never give up on their dreams, to never give up on the day that they are waiting for to come, but they have to put on the work, because whatever you work towards will work towards you. Whatever you go towards will come towards you. So keep on going. This is what I want the world to keep believing in, that whatever you are seeking is seeking you, and whatever you're moving forward towards is going to move towards you. Just keep going, and I wish that ignorance will stop, and I care about humanity.
Wow. Yep. Wow. Thank you very, very much for this beautiful time that we spent to you. I really appreciate it. And I hope if I call on you again, you will be happy to be on this broadcast.
My pleasure, my friend. It's always my pleasure.
Thank you very much. As we're stepping out, what is the golden advice, a word to the world?
The golden advice to the world?
Yes.
Did I hear it right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I said it. I said it all. Keep dreaming. Keep aspiring for the better, because as long as we still have spirits that are willing to do something, the good is coming. Keep doing what you're doing, and take into consideration the three sources of the faith or the fear feeding: ears, eyes, mouth. Speak positively, read positive things, listen to positive things, and you shall receive what you ask for.
Wow. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a beautiful time. Before you go, I just want you to give them where people can get in touch with you, where people can buy your book. I'm putting you on the spotlight now, where people can get your book, how people can get in touch with you, where you are on the social media, and how people can learn more from you. Quickly throw that out in the next 30 seconds. Then we're out of here.
Okay. My website is www.hmakkispeaks.com. That's hmakkispeaks.com. HMAKKI speaks SPEAKS.com. And if you go to Google, just type in Makki Speaks. It's going to pop up to you. My social media is Houssam Makki, as is it's displayed on the screen right now. This is on Facebook as well as LinkedIn and Instagram, Makki Speaks. And also you can be directed to the Makki, the REBORN on Instagram. I have 2 accounts. That's it. Makki Speaks.
Wow. Thank you very much for the pleasure of your time, and thank you for being here. I really want to appreciate time. I want to say thank you very, very much for those powerful wisdom words that you've released to the space, and thank you for being the great man that you are. And I bless the name of God on your behalf, because God preserve your life for times such as this. He preserve you because he know you are going to be voice. You are not going to be an echo. And by the power that make you to survive that accident, that power is reside inside you. I'm talking as what I know and what I'm very sure of. That power is available on this program to everyone going through those challenges that you think is beyond you. It's not beyond you. Just hold on there. The help is on the way. Look to God. Look up to heaven. The help is on the way. The storm will soon be over. Thank you very much. I really want to appreciate you, Mr. Makki, for time spent with us. Keep shining, keep smiling, keep watching the African Portal, keep sharing it. If you have laid anything in your heart to support this great vision, this is a movement, this is a vision. We're looking forward to do more. We're looking forward to go more. Everyone on board, we need assistance. If God lay anything in your heart to support this vision, please kindly join us. Let's do it together. Together we can. Together we will. Together we will win together. God bless you. Always win. Enjoy this as we step in. You like this, and I want to play it. I just want to tell the world the storm is over now. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. I was in a tunnel and couldn't see the light. Whenever I look up, I couldn't see the sky. Sometimes when I'm standing, it seems like I done walked for miles. And my heart could be crying, is in the middle of a smile. But then I feels and saw the mountains. Cause I was lost, then I felt the strong wind. Heard a small voice saying, the storm is over, surely. I can see the sunshine somewhere beyond. I feel heaven, yeah. Heaven is in the midst of my battle, all hope was gone. Downtown in a rush crowd, and felt all